Okay, let's talk about using your own API key in the Epic Fraud Prevention app for BigCommerce. So our app is automatically going to risk score up to 500 orders per month. And if you're going to do more than that, what's going to happen is you're going to hit the 500th order and it's going to stop risk scoring for the rest of your cycle. And the next month when your cycle renews, you'll get another 500. But you obviously want to risk score everything, not just the first 500. So instead of having different brackets and increasing your price and charging you enterprise fees and all this stuff, we're just maintaining the same monthly fee and letting you put in your own API key if you're going to do more than 500. Okay. So how it's going to work is you're going to go to MaxMine. There's a link right here in the app and sign up for an account right down here. Now MaxMine has a couple different products. They have fraud prevention, which is what we're using. They have IP geolocation and intelligence and proxy detection. We're not using those two. We're only using fraud prevention. So all you have to do is come down here, click sign up for the account, and then log in. Let me log in and show you where you get your API keys, first of all. Okay, now I just clicked the login button at the top because I already had an account, but you will assumedly Okay, once you're set up with your account and you're validated, you can log in. There's a login button at the top and it'll bring you to this account dashboard that looks just like this. And what you need to do is click on Manage License Keys on the left. And you're not going to have anything like I do right here. So you're going to say Generate New License Key and call it whatever you want. I would probably call it Epic Fraud Prevention or something so you remember that you used it with our app. So let's just call it Epic Fraud Prevention. Click Confirm, and it will issue you an account ID and a license key, which I'm about to delete right after this video, so don't get any ideas. But we're going to take this account ID and the license key and put it into our app. So on the on the API keys tab, which you may already be if you're watching this video, you want to come down here to where there's a checkbox that says use your own MaxMine API key. All you have to do is check that and it'll expose some fields where you can put in your account ID and your license key or an API key. They call it a license key. So you click attach your keys and that should be it. Now, I don't have this store. And that should, so once you get those entered, it's going to say your store keys have been added and verified. Now, it might take up to a minute after you initialize those API keys on the MaxMine side. So if you initially get an error, just give it a minute and just re-add them just like that. And once you have it set up, that's about it. So this will use your MaxMine. So this will use your MaxMine API credits instead, which as long as you pay them for credits, it'll let you fraud score unlimited. So what is having your API key in here? Well, first of all, so what does having your API key in here do? Well, what it's going to do is it's going to let you use your own MaxMine API credits instead of the ones that come with our app, because there's not going to be any limit on how many that you use in your own account. You just pay them for the usage and it'll let you fraud score, 10,000 orders a month. It doesn't really matter. And so the biggest question that we get is, okay, that's great. We can fraud score unlimited transactions, but how much is it going to cost for the API? Well, we have a little bit of a breakdown here, a sample that shows if you spend $20 in credits with MaxMind currently, that will get you 4,000 risk scores. Now, the way they work is they use a credit for a risk score, or they use 4 credits for a risk factor. A risk factor is when you click the button to get the extra information that tells you more stuff about the transaction. And people aren't going to use that, but a very small percentage of the time. So for the most part, 99% of what you're using your API key for is just the risk scores. So think about that. $20 is going to let you risk score 4,000 transactions. So if you do 10,000 transactions a month, you're looking at, $50. Pretty affordable. And keep in mind that these are pay as you go. So if you put $50 into credits and you don't use all your credits this month, they're going to just roll over and you'll use them next month. No worries.